Hey guys, RPM here. All right, this video, I want to go through the Ethereum Merge announcement you've all probably heard about, and the end of proof of work is September 15th. Now, I want to go through also a bunch of other questions that I've been getting recently due to this announcement, and I'm just going to give you guys my opinions here, and it's not financial advice, of course. But first, I will talk about the Ethereum Merge, the date here, September 15th, as well as the Bellatrix upgrade that's supposed to happen September 6th. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a sec. Then the second question I want to ask, or just go through, is the profitability emergence of other proof-of-work coins before Ethereum Merge. And then the third one here is my opinion on GPU prices post-Ethereum Merge. Number 4, what is my crypto mining plan going forward now until the merge? Number 5, what is my crypto mining plan after the Ethereum Merge? Okay, so this is going to be a fairly long video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll have it all timestamped down below. So before we begin, this video is sponsored by flexpools.net. Flexpools.net would like to announce a miner appreciation program where they will be giving one lucky miner $1,000 in Flux every month for the next 12 months. Flux Labs is operated by people from the Flux team, and their main goal is to provide a safe and transparent mining experience. While the Flux project does not directly take from the pool, flexpools.net gives a portion of their fees back to the Flux project because they believe in Flux and the miners. Here's how to enter the $1,000 Influx giveaway. Mine at the pool and maintain at least 90% uptime for the first month and 95% uptime for the following months over the next 30-day period with at least one GPU. That's it. The giveaway prize will be sent directly to the mining address, so please do not mine to an exchange. Rewards may be lost as a result. This is all on top of their normal weekly loyalty program, and starting on August 19th, all the parallel asset fees will be cut in half. Check out flexpools.net, link down below. All right, guys, Vitalik has said here in a tweet, the terminal total difficulty has been set to 5875 and a lot of zeros. This means the Ethereum proof of work network has now a roughly fixed number of hashes left to mine. Bordel.wtf predicts the merge will happen around September 15th. Through the exact date depends on the hash rate. And he has a little thing here, TTT prediction for the merge. Look at that little panda symbol there. It says make your own prediction. Current hash rate 879.2 terahash. To achieve TTD, and the 5879 number, at Thursday, September 15th, around 872.2 terahash as the network is needed as of now. Terminal difficulty of 5875 is expected around September 15th. 4:44 UTC time. So this is going to be, I guess the merge will be dependent on the network hash rate. And so the current network hash rate as of right now, obviously it could change. It changes all the time. So I don't think this is going to be exactly on the 15th. Maybe it will be, but maybe it could be on the 14th. So I'm unsure if the hash rate starts going down. That means the merge will be a little bit later, like maybe September 16th or 17th or something. But then if the hash rate starts going higher, then that means the merge will come sooner from what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. So before this, though, before the merge is supposed to come, there is a tentative mainnet Bellatrix fork slot and time. Okay, so the epoch for 1,444,896. And so that's supposed to be around on September 6th. Bellatrix is a consensus layer upgrade with the objective of preparing the beacon chain for the merge. The beacon chain doesn't use blocks, but slots. The tweet gives an estimation for the merge time. Okay, so what's the difference between this and the merge timelines of September 15, 16? I thought Bellatrix fork is for the merge. Why the difference of a week? And this guy responds, Bellatrix is an upgrade for consensus layer clients on September 6th. Paris is the upgrade for execution layer clients. The merge is targeted for 10 days after Bellatrix around September 15th. So I'm not sure, right, if there's going to be issues with this Bellatrix upgrade, right? So, similar to what there was just the Goerli testnet, which there is apparently a Goerli issue tracker. Okay, so apparently these are some of the issues here. I'm not sure what any of this means. I'll have this link down below in case anyone's interested, but as of 2 days ago, as of recording, it says Nimbus being offline, Lodestar partially being offline. It says why the Besu reorg was so large. Why was it a 30-slot reorg instead of like 2 or 3? Why Ergion stalled for so long before fixing themselves. Why Nethermind was offline for a while after the TTD was hit. And then last one here, rocket pool node producing invalid blocks. Just reading off these, issues here in the Goerli testnet that was just apparently successful. I don't know if it was successful or not. They're apparently just going to keep going ahead with the merge. It sounds like, right? The Ethereum merge, it sounds like with these issues here, it seems like they're going through it. And there was some general debug info here. I'm not a developer. I don't know what any of this means, but you guys can take a look at this. Pretty interesting what's going on here. And then the Besu Goerli merge issue. Merge block, beacon chain block 3639527. So I don't know what any of this means, and whether or not that will be an issue for mainnet begs the question. Okay, so even right before the merge on, I guess, in 31 days as of recording this video on the 15th or 16th, is that there's also going to be the difficulty bomb countdown here that's coming up pretty much a day before the merge, okay? Before the TTD of 5875 and then this number, okay? So, that means for those that don't understand the difficulty bomb, the same thing that happened in, let's see, back in the Murrier Glacier, or sorry, I think there was another name. Anyway, yeah, this one right here where we saw the block time start going, averaging, 15, 16 seconds per block. And thus that means the block issuance daily was getting less and less and less because the network is essentially getting much slower. And so, the same thing will again happen, I guess, a day before, but it probably won't be that noticeable because if the merge is going to happen, literally, you can see here, 30 days for the difficulty bomb and then 31 days, 10 hours for the merge, the Ethereum merge. Okay, so it may not be a big effect, but I wonder if that will affect the TTD, or the difficulty change here of the block times could affect the merge. I don't know if I'm just pulling that out of my hair here. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not. So anyways, guys, yeah, so there you go. The merge is apparently coming, and I haven't heard, as of recording this video, it is August 13th. Okay, so this is what we know right now, that the merge is essentially coming around September 15th. It depends on the hash rate. And there's a Bellatrix upgrade September 6th. So assuming there is no issues with the Bellatrix upgrade, that would be quite funny if there was, or maybe some developers may come out and be like, hey, these Goerli issues that happened, what if there's going to be a 30 slot reorg on mainnet, right? These kind of stuff. If that doesn't matter to them, then what's that going to do to the confidence on, I guess, the network? And if the network decides to go offline and all that stuff, what's that going to do to the price? And like, is it going to be like, buy the rumor, sell the news, or whatever, the other way around? I don't know. Like, what's going to happen here? And we've all seen the price of Ethereum and a bunch of other coins come up here. So that's where I want to go into the second point here, the profitability emergence of other proof of work coins before the Ethereum merge. So this one here, it's not really a question, but it's just something in my perspective and my point of view that I've kind of noticed recently, and whether or not that is going to, I guess, transpire, before or after the merge, we don't know. Nobody knows. No one's going to tell you that there's going to be a certain coin that's going to be the one that is going to carry the crypto mining community. Okay, it could be Ethereum Classic, could be Flux, could be Ergo, Ravencoin. Nobody knows, right? We can all speculate. Okay, just saying that we can all speculate that a certain coin can do it. Everyone has their own opinion, yes, and maybe someone's opinion is going to be right. But honestly, nobody knows, because the numbers that are out there right now, it's it's going to be dependent on a lot of different variables. And I do want to go through that, especially with talking about the daily issuance and the dollar value of all the different proof of work coins out there, right? Because once Ethereum is out, that's a pretty big chunk of money that's being taken out daily, right? Or essentially forever. And you're going to have to pretty much understand how much potential hash rate that's going to go to Ethereum Classic, for instance, Ergo, Ravencoin, Flux, Conflux, Bitcoin Gold. I don't think many people are going to go Bitcoin Gold, but Beam, Firo. There's tons of proof of work coins that very may well be profitable after the merge, but that is going to depend on the prices of those coins. And we've kind of seen a surge in those proof of work coins in terms of the prices, and that's what I want to go through. And also, before I do that though, there is one thing I wanted to correlate, and whether or not you guys believe. I'm not an economics person, I'm not a financial advisor, but with the way that the market has been going up in terms of the crypto prices, is that also correlated to, you know, the stock market that has also kind of recovered in the past 2 months here, as well as the CPI, the consumer price index numbers, the inflation numbers that have come out recently has brought the markets up. So does that mean we're going to continue to go up? I am not sure. Okay. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an economics person. We shall see. So with that though, understanding how, I guess, potentially how the markets are correlated together, especially with crypto, you know, now I'm going to go back into here, this part here, the daily issuance of the other proof of work coins. And not all of them are on this list here that I got from, this is from a website. I'm not going to name it because you guys think I was sponsored by them or I was shilling them or something. And so I'm not going to do that. But there's this chart here just showing, you know, generally the daily issuance. This is as of May 2022. Okay, GPU mineable coins. I think not all of them are on here, but just generally, you know, the popular ones I'd say is, you know, looking at how much Ethereum in terms of the dollar value is being put out daily. Okay, so at that time it was about 23 million. Okay, I guess this is pretty close to as what Ethereum price is right now, 2014 versus 1975. Yeah, pretty close. So I'm gonna say about 22 to 23 million dollars issuance as of right now, and we all know. So Ethereum is going to be moving to the merge in about a month. Okay, so do the math there, right? As this number here is going to go away by September 15th or 16th, then you're going to have to look at then the calculation of all these other proof of work coins of their daily issuance and their current price. So how they do the calculation here, let's just do Ethereum Classic, for instance. Okay, let's just do, let's say block reward is 3.1 times 6,000. And I believe Ethereum Classic had a fifth inning, so I think it's like 2.56 now. So 2.56, this is actually wrong, times 6,000. Okay, and so that's 15,360 Ethereum Classic a day, okay, in terms of the rewards, right, etc. So we times that by the price of Ethereum Classic. So we actually, if we go to, we just type in Ethereum Classic, what's the price of ETC right now? 43.79. Okay, so let's times that by 43.79. Okay, so 672,614. Okay, so we'll go back to here, and that was back in May of 2022 versus now. You can see the issuance, the daily number here has gone up pretty much another 222,000. Okay, which is a decent bump, right? But that's, you know, talking about, you know, how much hash rate is on Ethereum. Okay, so how much of the ASICs are on Ethereum right now for is, I would say, I don't know, people can, you know, speculate between 40 and 60%. So if we looking at, you know, 885 terahash at the moment as a recording, let's just say a good 400, 500 terahash moves over to Ethereum Classic. And that's, you know, Ethereum Classic right now in terms of their network hash rate is, let's see here, 30.53 terahash. So if that amount of 400 terahash, 500 terahash goes to Ethereum Classic, that's basically a, how big of a difference is that? So let's say 530 divided by 30 terahash. That would be about 17 times more, right? 17 times more hash rate decides to go to Ethereum Classic. And what I mean by that, that would probably be all the ASICs, right? The Jazz miners, Antminer E9, the, you know, a lot of the Innosilicon A10 Pros, which just had the firmware out recently. You know, all those ASICs are going to move to Ethereum Classic. So that's going to make it 17 times more difficult. For example, let's just do a typical RX 580 rig, 6x580s, 570s, 480s, 470s, whatever, 180 mega hash on Ethereum Classic at about 780 watts. Okay, 10-cent kilowatt hour at the current difficulty, block reward. Oh, it's actually 2.48. So calculate here. So that my calculation of 2.56 before was a little bit wrong, but that's okay. Going down here, okay, it's about $2.40 profit at these numbers. So let's just do an example, and I believe if I just take this difficulty number and I times it by 17, that should give us the, let's see, times 17. That should give us a, you know, theoretical difficulty raise of the hash rate 17 times. Okay, just as an example, hit calculate, So from $2.40, that will be down to $1.62 at the current price of Ethereum Classic. But as we know, crypto is very volatile. Ethereum Classic could be very volatile, could change price at any moment, anytime. So looking at these numbers though, just you can see here though, with a difficulty adjustment of 17 times more, that a typical RX 580 rig would be in the negative here. What's not to say, right? Another thing to think about is how much of the network hash rate, or how many people out there, you know, depending if it's 500 terahash moving over of ASICs, how many of those people, depending on their electrical cost, will keep on mining, right? And so I think it's safe to say that we're not going to see that much hash rate move over, maybe initially, I don't know. But you can see that depending on their electrical costs, people are going to turn off. So there's going to be that, you know, essentially equilibrium, right? The balancing of, you know, with the profitability of, you know, the block rewards, price of the coin, block times, all that stuff is factored in when you go to what to mine here and seeing what your profitability is on compared to your GPUs, all right, that you click on here. And so that's why we all stress, all the YouTube channels, everybody, we all stress, you know, we all want to buy the most efficient GPUs for mining, because when it comes down to, you know, the bear markets, especially like previous bear markets, everyone wants to get the most efficient hardware so that you can essentially stay competitive and you can keep going, and you know, you don't have to shut down your rigs or anything, and just keep yielding the coins when the times are low. So what I was calculating here is more so based on profitability. So this is more so for people that really care about, you know, profitability, and, you know, they sell every day or sell every month or something like that. And so, you know, for those that are going to be potentially, I don't know, mining at a loss, if they think about it that way, then you're not really accounting the fact of that Ethereum Classic could potentially in the future go up in price, right? What's not to say Ethereum Classic could moon in price in the future. So you gotta kind of consider that as well. What's not to say Ethereum Classic could go back to its all-time high of what, $170 or something. Let's see if, I don't know if Coin360 has that. I think it's $170 or $130, the previous all-time high. If that could happen in the next cycle, who knows, right? It's all going to depend on Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin is the king when it comes to that type of thing. So yeah, that's just a quick little comparison here. I hope I did the calculation right for the network difficulty. I was looking on two miners here of their definition, and so I think it is pretty relative to what, you know, the network hash rate, if it were to rise 17 times, pretty much the network difficulty would then be 17 times. And so the calculator here that I was using on what to mine, it should be in theory in line with what, you know, the numbers here that I calculated here on the network difficulty for Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. But you guys can let me know. That's just a very simple example of potential scenario after the merge. Okay, so there's a lot of different variables. I'm trying to get this all in one big picture here. It's actually pretty, this is actually pretty intense. I have it all in my head here, but, you know, just trying to understand that there's a lot of other proof of work coins, and so there's going to be that equilibrium amongst all these other coins here. It's going to be a leveling off period that it's going to take a while to really see, you know, what to mine, especially what to mine after they take off Ethereum here. It's going to take a while. I would say more than a day or two for these network hash rate numbers to change. You know, block times are relatively, block times are going to stay the same. There's going to be the difficulty adjustment, right? And so it's going to be a while, right? We're going to see Flux, Ergo, Ravencoin, Conflux, all these other coins. People are going to move to Neoxa, right? What if Neoxa has a pump in price or something that's going to, you know, boost profitability? And speaking of, actually another I hope this is probably not going to work, but you guys probably heard of a fork called ETHW or ETHPOW or something, and like Justin Sun or Poloniex exchange ETHW token already, and apparently it has like, I don't know, it starts at $118 or something, and I don't know. I don't know if this is probably a bad idea. And I think this is going to come, with that is going to come a lot of scams. Just thinking about, you know, actually I have it up here of people thinking about importing their seed phrase or something like that. This could be a very big security concern. So for example, let's say, you know, somebody would want to open up the web wallet, so like my Ether wallet, and make sure if you like, if people decide to do this and, you know, you have to import your seed phrase or something for ETH POW, which I highly recommend people do not do. I think it's this is something that people could easily get scammed, and their wallets or whatever, if they're taking their seed phrase from their ledger or something, someone is bound to do something, get something wrong. For example, if you're trying to import something like your mnemonic phrase from my Ether wallet or something, there are many scams of fake my Ether wallet websites out there. So make sure, please make sure, if you decide to do this, and please, I highly recommend people do not, you know, get this ETH W or ETH POW. Again, I have to stress that is if you're going to be putting in your private keys, your mnemonic phrase, or anything like that, importing that into somewhere, I think it's a bad idea to digitize your mnemonic phrase, especially if you have it written down somewhere and you're going to be, you know, placing it into an exchange that wants you to, you know, access, you know, to put that into an exchange. That is definitely, I think, a big security risk. Okay. So ETH POW, ETH W, whatever, I think it's, there's a lot of news articles out there already. I think it's a bad idea, and I think we should all just focus on like Ethereum Classic or something. So that's just something I should have mentioned earlier in case people don't watch this video all the way far in this video, but that is something that it comes to, if people want to get their ETH W, ETH POW or whatever coins, and you have Ethereum, right, that's going to basically, yeah, you know what, I just say just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth, you know, putting your seed phrase on the internet, or, you know, getting, in case people have Trojans or keyloggers, you know, it's a bad idea. Okay, just don't do it, right? If you decide to import your seed phrase into Poloniex or however to get your ETHW. Anyways, okay. So guys, I don't know if I think I had a lot more to say about this, but anyways, the bottom line is, we are seeing some coins come out in price, okay? And whether or not that's going to stay like that forever, we're not quite sure, right? If Flux is going to be the coin to carry the crypto mining community, had a nice little pump here, and Ergo looks like it's coming up, but it's obviously not at its previous all-time high. But is there potential that these coins, you know, even Ravencoin could go back to its all-time high? I believe so. Yes, not financial advice. That could be, you know, it could be a couple years from now in the next, you know, Bitcoin cycle, Bitcoin halving. So we're not quite sure. You know, this is just something that if we take a look at it, you know, in the long term, I think we're going to win out in the long term. It's not financial advice, but I think, you know, as long as, you know, time is on our side for those that have the time, and, you know, we're hodling. Another thing to think about is, you know, maybe not a lot of people who are going to continue to mine have the capital. Okay. But I think that's the next thing. That's where I'm going to talk about in my strategy here, a couple of different strategies here going forward, right? People's financial situations are totally different, but that's for later. Man, I think this video is very long already, but let's keep it going. I'll try to end off these real quick here. My opinion on GPU prices post Ethereum merge. All right, so the current state, I guess, of GPUs, if we're just typically looking at a 3070 right now, like pretty popular card for mining for most people, I'd say, including myself, is that they're going around between $400 to $500 to $600. Wow, people are still buying from $600 for Founders Edition. That's crazy. I'm assuming this is due to, recently sold, and actually mining profitability has been pretty good because Ethereum price is going up, obviously. You know, one thing I don't know if most of you guys have seen this, but to me, and from what I've been hearing with people that I've been getting from emails, is that most people, regular Joes that just got into mining, I would say last year, have no understanding of what the Ethereum merge is, or understanding of the end of proof of work for Ethereum, or understanding of thinking of it as what is proof of stake, or even the term proof of work, right? I would say most people that got into mining in the past year, or even recently, they may not even understand those terms. And so there are plenty of people out there that are still buying GPUs because Ethereum mining is profitable. That's it, right? It's actually mind-boggling, because, well, maybe it's not mind-boggling because there's a lot of people that don't watch YouTube, and there are ways to learn about mining that are on like typical websites on Google, but may not keep up with the news about the Ethereum merge. I'm kind of going off a little bit off topic here, but just correlating that with people not really, majority of the people not really understanding what the Ethereum merge is that people continue to buy GPUs for mining, or majority of those like you guys that watch me understand what's essentially going on, right? So you guys will make your decisions of either selling your older inefficient GPUs, or you believe in mining the other coins in the future, Flux, Ergo, all that kind of stuff. Then that's all well and good. But there are people that are basing it off still mining Ethereum, and we all know, right? Ethereum is going to be done in the next September 15th here. Of course, if Bellatrix potentially fails, has an issue, they cancel it. Could you imagine if that happened? That'd be pretty funny. So you heard it here first. Anyway, going down here, 3070 Ti's, people are buying these for mining. Man, look at this 3070 Ti MSI for 550. 19 people bid for this. It's just crazy, right? But after the merge, okay, let's just think about it here. After the Ethereum merge, our GPU price is going to come down. So here's my opinion on it. Okay, regarding with the current state of how Nvidia has been basically like holding, I guess, inventory. I think I've heard something about that, as well as, I guess, I don't know if the silicon shortage is a thing anymore. If the merge comes out, then correlating to what we talked about before with the daily issuance of the prices of these coins, right? Due to the block rewards and the daily blocks account the fiat value that is being issued every day from all these proof of work coins is basically not going to be profitable for the majority of people, depending on their electrical costs. So I remember the last bear market, like 2018, 2019, I guess beginning of 2020, was that a typical RX 580 rig was still profitable, but only at about 10 or 11, I think 12 cents at most. Those guys that had, a typical 180 mega hash, 780 watts RX 580 rig. Actually, if I just do 6 here, like that, okay, 12 cents kilowatt hour, they were barely at the bottom barrel break the bear market. It was like they're maybe making 10 cents, okay, off a full 580 rig, but they were yielding a lot. So for those that were mining and yielding a lot of Ethereum back in 2019, 2020, that was the best strategy, because if you hodl all that Ethereum up until, the previous all-time high, right, when last year 2021 was a big momentous time for Bitcoin, 60K, 65K or something, Ethereum was what, 4,500, 5,000 or something. If you held it all the way till then, you did really well, and obviously if you sold it. And you guys have heard me talk about that strategy before. That's like one of the best strategies ever. But assuming you are financially capable of paying your electrical bill out of pocket, begs the question. So anyways, I think the GPU pricing for after Ethereum merge is probably going to come down. Okay, this is not financial advice. I have a feeling that there are going to be a few mining farms out there that are not going to be able to stay competitive, especially depending on their electrical cost. I know a lot of farms out there that have more than 10 cent kilowatt hour, but there are plenty of farms out there that have less than 10 cent kilowatt hour, like 4 cents, 6 cents. And so especially those guys, especially during the previous bear market, were able to profit even more and still make it out. But more so this time, I would say, with the current Ethereum network hash rate right now, just judging by how much hardware is on the network now, I'm gonna say there's gonna be it's gonna be a pretty intense time for those that maybe may not have the capital to keep going, right? And if those guys don't have the capital, they're gonna have to liquidate their hardware. And good old Nerd Gears, I know that Nerd Gears is one of those companies that can buy. They buy liquidations, right? There's plenty of those companies out there that buy mining farms, and mining farms want to liquidate their hardware at one go. They're not going to sell their GPUs one by one on eBay. I mean, sure, maybe there's some people that want to do that, but it takes time to sell GPUs one by one. If you had like a couple hundred or a couple thousand GPUs, people, they just want to put them on a pallet and ship them off to somewhere like Nerd Gears, and Nerd Gears will sell the GPUs in bulk. And you guys, this is not sponsored by them, but I'm just giving you guys an example that was exactly what happened in the previous bear market. RX 580s were selling for $80. P106s were selling for like $35, $40. You know, during those times, GPUs were very, very cheap at that time. I know 1660 Supers or TIs were less than 180, 200 bucks or something, or much less. And, you know, RX 580s was like the best benchmark to give. Like RX 580, 8 gigabyte cards, you know, selling as low as $65 at one point on Nerd Gears in 2019, 2020, because, you know, they got sold them in pallets, right? Nerd Gears were able to buy them in pallets. And that goes with a lot of other people that were able to buy them in pallets as well. And congratulations to those that bought GPUs during the bear market, because like I said, buying hardware when it's cheap, mining during the low times and yielding more of the coins is like seriously one of the best strategies. But really, that's totally dependent on your financial situation. I know a lot of people can't just pay their electrical bill out of pocket. This hobby, the crypto mining hobby, if you think of it as a hobby or a business, can be very expensive depending on your scale, right? And anyways, I'm really going off topic here. I could go off topic here many times, but I know a lot of you guys really love these long videos. So anyway, bottom line, just to end off this third point here, my perspective opinion here is that I think there is going to be a time where there's going to be a lot of GPUs coming on the market, and I think the prices are going to be lower than what it is now. Not financial advice, but what I'm basing it off here is it's going to be dependent on the profitability of these other coins. And if these other coins don't go up in price, and when people go to what to mine and see, you know, you're only making negative 30, 50, 100 cents, a dollar on your RX 580, then those RX 580s are going to be sold on the market for pennies. And I'm hoping that 3070s would come down in price, but I don't think 3070s, maybe all 30 series cards won't really come down that much more. But I'm hoping, but we'll see. Okay, not financial advice. All right, the next question: what is my crypto mining plan going forward now till the merge? All right, this is not financial advice. You guys don't do what I do. Okay, this is specific to my financial situation. So my plan going forward, okay, till the merge. All right, this is not after the merge, but this is up until the merge, so another month or so. Okay, so there's two scenarios that I wanted to do, and I'll tell you which one I'm doing here in a sec. But basically the first scenario is that will just be mining Ethereum all the way up until the merge with all my GPUs and whatever ASICs that I have. They'll just continue to mine Ethereum. Okay, so typically, you guys know I just turned off my 3090s because they're much more inefficient than my other GPUs. So I have like a bunch of, where's 3070s on this list here? So I have a bunch of, you know, 3070s, and you can see, and my cost of electricity is like 10 cents roughly. Is that a typical 3070 rig is still making $8.44 now. Wow. Since the price of crypto has been going up, it's looking really nice, right? So with that, I am mining Ethereum, and I may be selling it. This is not financial advice, and my reason for it is the fact that the merge is coming, that it is a big milestone for Ethereum. Yes, I think that with Ethereum is pumping, but it is kind of going up with the rest of the market, and with what I talked about earlier about Dow Jones, the stocks going up as well. I think everything is kind of correlated, so everything is just generally going up anyway. Not financial advice, it's just my opinion. What I'm going to do here in the next month or so I'm going to mine as much Ethereum as I can and probably sell most of what I mined this month coming up here. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to have some capital so that I will then be able to continue to mine the other coins after Ethereum, if that makes sense. Okay, so in my financial situation, I can pay for my electrical bill out of pocket. I would love to hodl the coins, but with the uncertainty, right, the uncertainty of what's coming up here due to after Ethereum, right, with the daily issuance of the other coins, I don't know if these other coins are gonna moon. Of course, I would love to mine when it's not profitable or at least breaking even. I would love to do that, but in my case here, I do want to have some capital, extra capital, that I could pay the electrical bill so that I could be mining Ergo. so that I could be mining Flux, so that I can mine Ravencoin, all these other coins. And, whether or not if it's going to be profitable or not, I don't want to have that in the back of my mind. If I am in that situation, I'm a typically small residential miner. Some of you guys think I'm huge, but compared to a lot of other people out there, there are a lot of people that have much more hardware than I do, is that with all of my hardware, I do pay a pretty penny on my electrical bill. So I do want to have a bit of capital extra to pay for that electrical bill for the next while here, and just have that safety net just in case. There is potential for Ethereum to go up in price much further. Yes, there is that potential. I'm not saying that there isn't going to be that potential. I do obviously believe in crypto in the long term, but in the short term, I'm uncertain, right? I'm uncertain Ethereum is going to keep going up in price. And so if I haul that Ethereum, then, when is the price of Ethereum going to go up? But it's the fact that with what's upcoming here, okay, after the merge is the reason why I'm going to continue to mine Ethereum up until the merge, right? Up until we can't anymore. And then my idea here is to sell that so that I can have the capital for after Ethereum. Now, the other scenario I would want to talk about here is that my idea was to also mine other coins, okay, like Ergo or Flux or something, because right now the difficulty in the network hash rate for these coins are much lower. So you're going to be yielding a lot more of these coins. So what's not to say, right, since you're yielding more of these coins, is that you can then be potentially waiting for the next all-time high or even further of these coins. Obviously, that is a much bigger risk. That is a much bigger gamble, right? But ultimately, if you believe in these coins, that they will go up in the future, and they have, like Ergo, for instance, and this is not financial advice, of course, Ergo could potentially go up to its all-time high or even more potentially in the next cycle, right? The next Bitcoin cycle. Flux as well. Flux is primed, in my opinion, to go up to its next price jump here. But, after Ethereum, okay, it goes back to this thing here. After Ethereum, how much of the network hash rate is going to move over to Flux, to Ergo, right? It's all of these. We said about 500 terahash could be ASICs. I don't know. We're not quite sure. And like 400 terahash could be GPUs, and then dependent on people's electrical cost. Obviously, not everyone is going to mine. And so there's going to be that equilibrium, right? And so, it's going to take a while, right? It's going to take a while. And ultimately, if things are breaking even, I will still, for me, I could do either scenario. But in the back of my mind, I'm just going to keep mining Ethereum. And then I'm going to, like I said, sell some to have the capital to be able to pay for the electrical bill, just in case, right? Just in case that these coins are not essentially profitable. If that makes sense to you guys. I'm just telling you guys, okay, in my situation here, that I am preparing for, I guess, the worst situation. And I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I am then, if I'm hodling the ETH and ETH decides to go down in price more and more, then, I miss that opportunity. And then at the same time, the profitability for mining these coins is down in the dumps, right? And after the merge. So this is not financial advice, okay, guys? Don't do what I'm doing. If you decide to hodl, then hodl. If you decide to sell to have capital, then do that, right? There's so many different scenarios that could play out. I'm just going more so on the safe side, more so on the, let's just say, the less risk, okay? I'm trying to lessen the risk here because there's a lot of unknowns. That's basically it. Okay, so going back here now to my Word doc, I may have kind of answered my fifth question here, but let's just go through the fifth question. What is my crypto mining plan after the Ethereum merge? So here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm obviously addicted to GPU mining. You guys all know that. I love to buy GPUs. You all know that. So in conjunction also, I guess, with opinion number 3 here and number 4, I guess just everything all together, is that I'm going to be also looking out for deals for GPUs, obviously, after the merge. But the biggest thing, what's my crypto mining plan, okay, for mining? I'm going to be mining probably Flux or Ergo after, probably Ergo, because Ergo is much more, it's a lot nicer to mine on a lot of my NVIDIA GPUs. Stays nice and cool, uses less power consumption. So Ergo might be the way that I move to. But, you know, Ethereum Classic, it's going to depend on, you know, what the next best coin, profitable coin will be. You know, Flux maybe, could be Raven coin might have a pump. You know, any of these coins that we see on the list, on this list here, could have a pump. We're nobody knows, right? I have to stress that, you know, we just don't know until it actually happens. But I do want to continue to mine. Okay, so that's where it kind of goes in conjunction with my previous thing here of, you know, I'm going to have some extra capital to keep on paying my electrical bill out of pocket, because there's no point in me selling the crypto that I mine, especially if I'm breaking even, or, you know, maybe selling at a loss, because I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to do that. And, you know, another thing after the merge, okay, the scenario, right? I have to say this, I guess, scenario after the merge, what if, you know, if my whole farm is losing less than, if let's say my 3070 rig, 6x3070 rig, is then making negative $1, negative $3, negative $5, I will probably turn off after maybe less than 50 to $1, 50 cents to $1, right? Negative $1, because at that point it is a lot, right? $1 a day on a 6x3070 rig, and I have more than what, 150, 160 GPUs, 200 GPUs or something, but a lot of them are offline actually. Is, you know, besides the point. I want to make sure that it's financially feasible at that point, right? And so that actually comes down to that, how many people are going to be turning off dependent on their electrical cost. Okay, so it really comes down to this. But once everything starts to level off, right, if there's going to be that equilibrium, right, okay, it's going to come back to that point at some point in time. It may take a while, right? It may take a while depending on how many people are going to move over to all these different coins, right? Depending on how, you know, what the price it is, how profitable they are. It's going to take a while, obviously. But ultimately, right? Ultimately, I'm going to be watching this and keeping you guys updated. Obviously, after the merge, it's going to be quite a momentous milestone, I guess. I don't know what you call it. I don't know, disaster, the rapture. I don't know what to call this. It could be a pretty big shocker for a lot of people, and depending on their electrical costs, all that stuff. I really have to stress that. And so, yeah, I don't know really how much more I could say here, but it's really going to depend. There's so many different scenarios that could play out, right? Flux could moon. Flux could be the coin that we all mine. Ergo could decide to moon as well, and hopefully have the liquidity and the volume for, you know, for us to really, you know, stay profitable, right? If we're looking, you know, it's all going to depend, right? All these coins that are out there, all the other proof of work coins that we see on this list for GPU mining. Okay, I'm not even counting like ASIC mining here. It's, you know, it's going to be interesting. Ultimately, either way, I am going to be here to document this whole thing, because, you know, I believe in mining in the long term. I believe in crypto mining and cryptocurrency as a whole. Right, you guys all know that I'm in this for the long term. And so what I talked about here, I'm just going to end off like, guys, this is nothing to be, I am not discouraged at all of what's coming here. I truly believe in a lot of these other coins. But it is going to come to a point where it does have to make sense financially, okay, to continue to mine or not, depending on how much, you know, or at least if we're at least breaking even, I'm still going to keep mining. But if I'm losing like more than $1, $2 a day on a rig, probably going to turn off. But, you know, it's really going to come down to that equilibrium, right? And so people that have much lower electrical cost will stay competitive and will continue to mine. And so if it's going to boil down to people that have, you know, 0.6 cents per kilowatt hour, and those guys are winning out, that's going to push me out, and probably most residential miners that have higher electrical costs. And you know what? That scenario may play out, man. Could you imagine if that happened? And that potential, it could happen. And I hate to think about it. Really, I do. I don't want to be pessimistic at all. You guys know I'm a very positive person. But if that comes down to it, I will make that video. Right? I shut down all my rigs because my electrical cost is now outweighing the amount of profit that I'm earning on mining these coins. And so anyways, guys, I don't want to really end off in that negative note, but, you know, I think you guys basically get the gist of what I talked about here. This is really a long video. I really do love, you know, these types of videos where I can just really speak my mind about everything. And, you know, I do like doing videos that are like 10 minutes and 12 minutes, but for those that really love to watch my long form videos, I really do appreciate it. And I know you guys who've been with me for a long time now really understand really the whole strategy here, the whole everything about crypto mining. And really we've been along for the ride for, you know, these past couple of years here, and it's been amazing, right? It's been just awesome. But I'm just gonna say, you know, it's not over yet. It's not over. Things are looking up for the future. We've been through these down times before, and I think ultimately we are all gonna win out in the end if we just stick with it and stay positive, and you know, we work and learn and just figure out a way to get past all this, I guess, essentially negative sentiment that is to come after the Ethereum merge, potentially, or a lot of positive, right? If the coins decide to move, man, it's gonna be awesome. Anyways, my friends, let me know if you guys came and watched all the way to the end of the video. I want to know, let me know your stories. I want you guys to answer some of these questions here if I got anything wrong. Let me know what your guys' crypto mining plan is going forward to the merge, and also what is your plan after the merge. I think this is something we can all talk about. We're all gonna be here probably. For those that are watching, you guys subscribe to my channel, you guys are gonna let me know. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. I really appreciate you all for watching. Have a good one, and peace out.